Oops. Alright, I figured I'd make a video out of this the secondary dash that I have in my R1. I've been getting a lot of calls about, and but these are not something that I actually sell online. I do sell them locally because basically I have to have the bike in front of me. All bikes are different, but as you can see, I make them, and they're sold pre-wired. I pre-wire them, powered, ground. You got all your outputs for all your switches. It's just basically a place to put all switches, LEDs, and stuff like that, where you don't actually modify the fairing or the bike in any way. They just double stick tape on. This was the first one I did years ago when I was putting together my all carbon fiber bodywork on my 600RR. And needless to say, I wasn't drilling any holes in my carbon fairing. If you got custom paint, anything like that, for whatever reason you don't want to do any holes, you do it like this. Basically what it is that the first and second generation CBRs, the top tree is very flat, other than the trim that they use. You remove the trim, and this actually just locks right to it. The ignition pushes through slightly, it locks right in around it, and a little double stick tape under here, and you stick it down, rock solid. And on my CBR, I had quite a few little gizmos even back then when I first came out with my mirror kits. I had a set of mirrors on it, fan override, tag flipper, alarm LED. So I had quite a few things I needed space for. So it worked good. I was making them out of the ABS plastic, and then I eventually started using the carbon fiber. But originally it was just the ABS, and it worked great. Then I started doing it with the carbon fiber, and I was making all my little brackets, anything I needed out of this brushed aluminum. I would grind it, feather it, and smooth it out. And eventually I started doing the back, the surround, with the aluminum now. So with the carbon fiber and the aluminum, very, very nice. So this is pretty much how I make them now. But like I said, I sell them locally, pre-wired, power, ground. You got your output from all your switches. And now I even have I think six or seven different color indicator switches. So if I do a red bike, I can do red indicators, blue bike, blue, yellow, green, orange. I've got quite a few colors. So that's a nice touch. I also can cut in a little acrylic window like this. If you plan on doing a gear indicator, I can cut in a little tinted acrylic window, and you mount your indicator under here, and you actually can see the readout right through the window. So I mean, it looks damn near OEM. Looks like the manufacturer made it. Looks clean. These fit double stick right here. They also use the original OEM reservoir bracket. This is aftermarket, obviously, but you could use the OEM one. And this just fits right around the ignition, sticks through, and it sticks right down flush against the tree. It looks clean. But now this is a perfect example of why I can't make these without having the bike. As you can see, this tree is not flat like the 600s are. This is a 1000 first and second generation, and it actually tilts out, and the whole thing rises up and drops down, so anything on top just didn't work out right. So what I wound up doing with these is these actually mount underneath, and it continues to use the key trim, which now it uses the actual key trim screws to mount the secondary dash on. And they look really clean. As far as I'm concerned, the CBR ones, these look the cleanest, I think, because it's kind of down underneath the ignition, out of the way, and yet still gives you plenty of room. As you can see, 4 switches. You could actually give up a switch, do a gear indicator as well on this one. But not only are these handy for, like I said, not modding the bike in any way, they just double stick on. You don't have to drill any screw holes or switch holes in your bike. They also block an area that's otherwise pretty busy. I mean, if you look on any bike, around the ignition is where all the cables are coming up, wrapping around the tree, wires, all the ignition wires go. Well, this blocks all that. So not only does it give you a good spot for switches, gear indicators, LEDs, that type of stuff, it also covers up an otherwise busy little area, and really cleans the look up down in behind the ignition. All right, now this is the first and second generation CBR that I was showing with the bracket. Now this one I've actually did with I did Rizoma reservoirs on both sides, and I made custom brackets that bolt to the back of the tree, so they're kind of in the way of this thing. It's made for this bike, but again, not for this particular one because it's got those bolts in the back, so it doesn't let this sit quite flush the way it's supposed to. But as you can see, I just wanted to give it an idea of what they look like. They sit flush against the tree, screw into the back of the ignition, and they definitely do not seem out of place, and so I figured I'd make a video out of it, so you can get a good look at what the hell's going on with these things, and maybe you want to take a shot at making one yourself. They're pretty straightforward. You can make them out of plastic, it's a lot easier, or you can do the aluminum. It's a little tougher to work with, but well worth the effort, if you ask me. But that's it. So I figured I'd just give a good look at a couple different styles of them that I've done, and maybe give it a shot yourself. Let me know what you think.